Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to share one of my favorite stories, which was once shared by one of my favorite storytellers, Jen Blake. As a storyteller, you get captured by a lot of things, and so but still, in as much as you are captured by a lot of things, there are just a few stories that could actually speak to your heart. And so today I'm going to share a story about a camel driver, which was once shared by Jen Blake. So enjoy. And so once upon a time, there was a camel driver leaving his village, passing through a certain small village, going to Baghdad to sell with his caravan of camels. And so as he was moving in these lands, he saw an old orchard. So he looked at the orchard and he saw the orchard owner. He was gripped with envy. In that moment, he was gripped with envy, and he said, wow, some people are lucky. You know, they have they have the time to just sit and everything just happens for them without struggling. They don't need, to move days and days and days, but then they spend more time with their families and they are established. They don't need to move around, for days and days without the comfort of a loving wife. And as he was passing, the orchard owner was also in his orchard, looked at this man, with these beautiful camels, and he said to himself, wow, some people are very lucky. They have an opportunity to move, across these vast lands, to explore the world and to just learn new things and to learn new skills. While I sit here, while I'm stuck, while I sit in this orchard. As the camels were passing, the lead camel, spotted these peaches that were dropping over the wall. These very juicy, very tasty, sweet and succulent peaches. So one of them actually had split its skin and its liquid or its juice was dropping on the ground, and ants had actually gathered to drink of this sweet nectar. And so when the camel saw this, it plucked, it plucked the peaches and it consumed them. And so when the orchard owner saw this, he was engulfed with fury. He was very upset, and he got a stone. He threw it at the camel, and the stone hit the camel and it fell dead. And so when the camel driver saw that his most trusted camel is dead, he got furious as well, and he got a stone and hit it back to the orchard owner. And he wanted to move his head, but it was too late. It landed on the temple and he died on the spot. And so after realizing this, the camel driver, got his pocket knife, trying to separate, the dead camel from the ones that were living, so that he could make his way through. But then he was spotted by the orchard owner's sons, and they chased him. Murderer, they shouted. Murderer, they shouted. And they captured him. They pulled him through the streets, and he pleaded, please, don't kill me. It was just an accident. I didn't intend to kill the orchard owner. I didn't intend to kill him, but it was a reflex action. Please forgive me. And they said, no, we are not going to forgive you. And she showed them, his purse of gold, and said, I have blood money. I have blood money. You can have this for the life of your father. And they said, blood money? No. Blood? Yes. So blood for blood. So we need your life. We have to kill you. Because, look, we'll never have, these sweet times that we used to have with our father again. We'll never be able to go to the market to sell the sweet peaches with our father again. We'll never be able to drink of pomegranate wine and also, drink of the sweet hot coffee with our father again. Or maybe play bagamon. We'll never be able to do that with our father again. And so we have to kill you. And so they dragged him through the streets, and they took him to the judge. And so when they reached the judge asked him, what's the matter? What's the matter? And they said, this man killed our father. They explained everything that happened. And so we want his life. And the judge says, my friend, look, I'm so sorry. You have killed this man's father. And so they want your life, and there's nothing that I can do. And so he said, but I have blood money. I have blood money. They can get this money, for the life of their father. And so the judge looked at the sons and said, could you get the blood money? And they said no. And so that's how the judge said, look, my friend, there's nothing I can do. I'm so sorry, but you have to pay with your life because you offended this man. And so the judge called the executioner, and he came, with a skin rag and rolled it on the ground and told the camel driver to kneel. And as he knelt, he was told to make his prayers. But then he requested to say, I am a condemned man, am I not? And the judge said, yes, you are. And a condemned man can make a request, is it not? And they said, yes. And he said, I have one. And everybody was like, a condemned man making a wish, having a request. I have one. And so he told the judge to say, I wish to return home. And everybody was like, you're a condemned man. That's a very orthodox request. How can you request to go home when you are a condemned man and you are condemned to die? And so he says that, no, I need to go home. I'm asking for 3 days and 3 nights to go home, and I'll come back so that you can have me killed. And so this man, and then the judge said, okay, we have a situation, we have an issue. And so unless you ask these people, to ask anyone who could maybe accept to stand in for you in these days that will be gone, so that in an instance where you don't come back, that person will have to die in your place. And so this man, this condemned man, the caravan driver stands up and asks the people, good people, I'm asking if there's anyone who can take my place just for 3 days and 3 nights, as I'll be coming back. And so everybody was like, no, can you do that? The people started, talking among themselves to say, no, who can do that? I mean, who does that? And so that's how a certain man from the back of the crowd, said, I'll do it. I'll take his place. And so this was a man with a long beard and with long hair, and he said, I'll do this. And everybody was like, old man, do you know what you're requesting for? And so the man was from at the back of the crowd, and he started elbowing, his way to the front, and he told everyone to say, no, I am going to do this. And so that's how that man was captured, and he was tied and taken to the dungeon. And so the camel driver, jumped on his camel, and off he went. And so he went back to his village. And so the first day passed, the second day, the third day, 3 days and 3 nights passed, and then the camel driver was nowhere to be seen. And so on the fourth day in the morning, word had already been spread across the villages, across the lands, and people came to gather to just see what will happen, if at all, this camel driver will come back, or the old man will have to give his life. And so that's how people gathered. And on the fourth day, the judge said, old man, I'm sorry, you put your trust in the wrong man, you put your trust in the wrong person, and so I am sorry, but you have to die. And so they called the executioner, and he came and he rolled the animal skin on the ground, and told the old man to kneel, and told the old man to say your prayers, because you're going to meet your maker. And so the old man, said his prayers, and in that moment he realized to say his life meant nothing at all. And at the same time, again, he realized to say his life meant everything. And so he made his prayers, and he told the executioner to say, strike hard, because I want to die instantly. And so as he was making his prayers, executioner rested the scimitar at the back, at the neck of the old man, and he was about to strike. Then someone from the crowd said, stop, someone is coming. And so they didn't know who it was, and so they saw, there was a cloud of dust that was just being kicked up, and then that's how, they tried to look what was in the dust, and then they saw a man on a camel. And so when this man reached, he got down with the camel, and he went straight to the old man, lifted him and said, old man, I'm sorry for all the distress that I've caused you, but I'm here now. And so he removed his mask to show that it was indeed the camel driver. And everyone, the crowd, marveled to say, who does this? Who escapes death and comes back to face death again? And so that's how people started, I don't come back. But then this man came back. And so the judge said, wait, what just happened? The camel driver was ready to die, and so he knelt and said, please, I'm here now. He said, wait, says the judge. And he said, what just happened? Camel driver, why did you decide to come back? And so this man explained to say, actually, there is an old widow from my village who entrusted me with jewelry. I am the only person that knew where this jewelry was, and so I had to return it, because if I was to die here without returning that jewelry to that woman, my family and my sons, 7 generations of my sons would be considered as thieves. And so I had to return the jewelry so that I come come here and die in peace. And so I also had to say goodbye to my family. You know, when I got home, you know, I had to get leave from my wife and also my son. And so my child couldn't actually believe when I told him to say, well, I'll never see him again, or he will never see me again. You know, he clung to me and cried. And so I had to put him to bed, you know, sing songs for him, and he rested. And so I had to say goodbye to my wife, because I was never going to see her again. And that's why I jumped on my camel, and I am here. I guess the execution can now take place. The judge, you know, wondered and said, oh, so old man, why did you accept to take his place? Why did you offer to take his place? And so the old man said that, you know, I grew up in a time where a man's word meant his honor. A man's word meant his honor. And so I knew that he would come back. And in an instance where he doesn't come back, I was ready to die. And so I decided to take his place, because I grew up in a time where a man's word meant his honor. Then the judge said, okay, and I have also learned that you can never pass, you know, correct or true judgment without exercising mercy and compassion. And so, having said all this, I would like to say today there are no heads that are going to roll. And so he turned to the sons of the orchard owner and says, you are going to accept the blood money for the life of your father, will you not? And the men said, and the sons said, yes, we will. And after that, the man said, okay, so from here, we are now going to, let's go inside. You know, let's eat, let's have the pomegranate wine and talk about life. And that's exactly what they did. And so this is the end of the story. Thank you so much for listening.